First start by washing the front and the back of the bumper with soap and water and allow it to dry. Use IES Super Clean 2 to remove all wax, grease, and silicone from the front and back of the bumper. When using the IES inner patch method, apply a wet coat of IES Inner Bond Adhesion Promoter to the back side of the bumper and allow to dry for 10 to 15 minutes. Cut the inner patch to size. Then heat the patch to 195 degrees Fahrenheit. Remove the vinyl backing and place the patch on the back side of the bumper and press firmly. Another method to repair the back side of the bumper is to make an epoxy patch. Sand the damaged area with 80 grit sandpaper and blow off with clean compressed air. Apply a wet coat of IES Inner Bond Adhesion Promoter to the sanded area of the bumper. Allow 10 to 15 minutes to dry. Load IES High Stress Epoxy into the gun. Remove the end cap and purge a small amount of epoxy from the cartridge. Install the mixer and dispense and discard the first 4 to 5 inches of material to ensure a proper mix. Apply a layer of high-stress epoxy onto the release film. Then apply the fiberglass tape over the epoxy and then another layer of epoxy over the fiberglass tape. Apply the wet side of the epoxy patch to the back side of the damaged area of the bumper. Using a spreader, press down on the release film and spread the epoxy out to cover all of the fiberglass tape. Allow to dry for 15 minutes. Remove the plastic release film from the back side of the bumper and turn the bumper over. Use the IES tapered burr to dish out both edges of the damaged area, about a half to 1 inch. Using a 6-inch DA 80 grit sandpaper, remove 4 inches of the paint around the damaged area. Blow off sanded area with clean compressed air and then apply a wet coat of IES Inner Bond Adhesion Promoter to the sanded area of the bumper and allow to dry for 10 to 15 minutes. Apply high-stress epoxy to the repair area and then smooth out with the spreader and allow to dry for 10 to 15 minutes. Using a 6-inch DA, start off using 80 grit sandpaper and knock down any of the high spots, and then switch to 180 grit and smooth to shape. If necessary, use IES Easy Sand Filler and Resurfacer to fill any pinholes or low spots. Just remember, before applying it, to apply another wet coat of Inner Bond Adhesion Promoter to the sanded portion of the bumper before applying the Easy Sand. Hand sand or use a 6-inch DA sander with 180 grit sandpaper to shape as needed. Then finish with 320 grit sandpaper. Prime and paint as per paint manufacturer's specifications.